able to send this over. I want to be able to send this recording over to the ones that couldn't join us tonight because I don't want them to miss out on this. This is just like that first initial step, and I think it's critical that we're on this call. All right. So did everybody get their kit in the mail? Everybody has their kit, and tomorrow is the big day. Let me raise up my computer a little bit. I'm going to use my Habits of Health books. They're so big, but they're so good. All right, I think that's better. All right. So when I saw that box, well, a couple things were like, I was just like, is this all I get for a whole month? I was like, yeah, you'll probably, it's probably not, you'll probably get another kit in a couple weeks. And I was like, no, this is the whole month. So let me share with you how this works. We have one goal this week, and that is to get your body into fat burn. Okay. If you're on the 5-in-1, we do have other programs out there, not just the 5-in-1. Traditionally, most clients do fall into that category that they're in the 5-in-1, but we do have other programs. So if you're on another program, your goal may not be 5-in-1, but it is to follow the program exactly. You might think that I'm going to be kind of strict with you, and that's because I am going to be strict with you, because the more closely that we follow this program exactly like it's supposed to be followed, the better the results. And I don't know about you, but I remember my husband looking at me because I went behind his back and I did this, and we didn't have the money to do this. He had lost his job. I took my Christmas money that we probably should have used for bills and bought my Optavia kit. He looked at me and he said, "You're going to eat everything in that box." Like, you're going to go all in for 30 days. And that's what I'm asking you. Go all in for these next 30 days. Okay. Is it going to be easy? There are going to be some tough days. I'm not going to lie, but you're tougher because I know what your goals are. And I know what's on the other side of that. I lost 12 pounds my first month. That is incredible. It is incredible. And more than that is the way that I was feeling. I had a 3-year-old at home and I had a teenager. So I was raising a teenager and a toddler. I had zero energy until I found this program. I was depressed, very depressed, because I was living paycheck to paycheck and barely couldn't even pay for our groceries. So I know where I was. And 1 month into this program, I had hope. So go all in. Just go all in for 30 days.
If you're going,
we want to get your body into fat burn. Basically, what that means is that we're going to start burning fat for energy.
You have to do it without playing with more.
Done that before. You're probably never burned fat for energy, so it's going to be a whole new experience. So there's not going to be any bites, licks, or taste of things that are off the plan. No, it's not going to happen. I promise you, it will not serve you to do that. We have to be 100% on this plan, because when you do, you're going to have incredible results. All right. Our program is scientifically based. So what we're telling you is, like, trust us. Just go all in and trust us, because we're going to get your body into fat burn. And here's how we're going to do that. But you have to follow it precisely. Number one, we have some guidelines, okay? Within 1 hour of waking up, we have to eat an Optavia Fueling. There's no ifs, ands. You got to do it. So we can figure out a way to do that. I know. That's why I say that, because I was like, well, I don't usually eat till I get to work. It's about 10 before I eat anything. This isn't going to work. Yes, you're going to do it. I promise you. When you're going longer, when you're waking up and not eating, your body's already gone 8 hours without sleep, right? Okay. When you continue to not eat, guess what happens? It slows your metabolism down. Why? The body senses that you're in a starvation situation. There's no food. You're in an airplane. You've had a plane crash. Your body wants to conserve everything.
Hey, Danielle.
So we have to eat within an hour of waking up to get our energy going. Go ahead.
Hey, Danielle, your sound is kind of going in and out.
Okay. Thank you. Hold on real tight. Okay, can you guys hear me now? Much better? Thank you. All right. Okay, so we want to get that metabolism moving. As we get older, our metabolism slows down. We have to eat within an hour of waking up. Okay, so what I like to do is I just have the shake, like a vanilla shake, in my coffee. So I make like 2 cups of coffee in my Keurig, and I'll put a package of that vanilla shake in there and just mix it up with a little blender. Perfect way to start your day. All right. Then you're going to eat every 2.5 to 3 hours. Okay. I recommend the Eat Wise app. It's a free app and it's called Eat Wise. I don't know about you, but when I had to put it on my phone, I would have like that thing dinging all day, and it was too much for me. It was too hectic. The Eat Wise app, you'll set it up, and every 2.5 to 3 hours, you can set it up for that. It's going to let you know when it's time to eat. It's going to go off on your phone or on your watch. I remember telling my coach, well, that's the problem. I don't forget to eat. That won't be a problem for me. And she says, trust me. And I'm like, okay, you will forget to eat. Because once you get into fat burn, those hunger cravings go away. You're going to be, it's amazing. You're like, what? So set your timers on your phone or get that Eat Wise app. All right. We have to drink water. We have to. For the body to be able to burn fat, it has to have water in it. So you're going to be drinking at least 64. Our goal is 80 to 100 ounces. Every time I have a slowdown in my weight loss, I'll go back and look at my tracker, and it's because I wasn't getting my water in. Tracking reveals trends. Trends reveal truth. When I say tracker, we'll talk more about that later. But I went back to I tracked what I was eating and drinking and noticed I wasn't getting my water in. So make sure you're getting your water in. Okay, we're going to eat 5 of those fuelings a day. So anything in that box is an Optavia fueling. Most likely you don't have any snacks in there, because Optavia does sell those optional snacks like popcorn, these little puffs. But what you probably got in your first kit is all Optavia fuelings. They're all created equal. So you can eat those however you want. Like, you can plan your day however you want. If you're like, look, I want chicken noodle soup for breakfast, you can have chicken noodle soup for breakfast. I have one client that she loves the soups. That's what she eats all day long. She doesn't even like the bars, and I like the bars and shakes. So everyone's different. So anything in that box is a fueling. If you want 5 brownies a day, do you know you can have 5 brownies? Is that crazy? I mean, come on, we can do this. When she told me I could have a brownie and I could have a peanut butter bar, I was like, I'm in. I love my sweets. So you can have those. They're all interchangeable. Guideline number 4 is we're not going to go longer than 3 hours while awake without eating. We're going to do our very best to stay within that 2 to 3 hour mark. And it doesn't have to be perfect, just kind of a guideline. I do have people, they're like, I got stuck inside the doctor's. I couldn't get out in that 3 hour mark. It's okay if you're going to have days like that. But for day to day, 2.5 to 3 hours, this is going to be one of those habits that you're going to have for the rest of your life. We're going to eat every 2.5 to 3 hours. It keeps your metabolism going, because remember I said the longer that we go without food, our body slows down. So we're eating the proper thing every 2.5 to 3 hours, because we're constantly got that GI system moving, which is burning calories. And that's what we're trying to do, is speed up that metabolism. Guideline number 5 is we're eating all of our lean and green. So your lean and green is really the only part of the plan that you have to think about. It's super easy to open up a shake or some crunchers or your fuelings. They're prepackaged, they're ready to go, but you will have to put some thought into your lean and green. Do you guys feel like you have your lean and greens planned out for the week yet, or even for tomorrow? Have any idea? Okay.
No. Do you have some good, easy suggestions?
I do. I do. The easiest suggestion that you could ever do, in my opinion, is getting a rotisserie chicken from the Walmart and a bag of salad
That's
and,
what I,
and some tomatoes, or always keep some taco salad meat made up in the freezer and grab a bag of salad. Okay. These girls on here may have some amazing things. Any type of grilled meat. Walmart has like a frozen hamburger that's in the lean category, and we'll talk a little bit about the categories, but we always keep them here. They're frozen. I can put them in the air fryer and dump a can of green beans and heat it up. I mean, so we're going to try to keep this as super simple as possible, especially your first week as you learn how to make these lean and greens. Does that help, Kelsey?
Yeah, we were just my husband's going to the grocery store tomorrow. We wanted to wait till after this meeting. But we were at Costco today and they had some pre-made meatballs that looked really good, but we were questioning it and we didn't buy them because they were in sauce and they had all this other extra stuff, so we didn't get them.
Good idea.
So just get regular lean beef and make the meatballs ourselves, and then like the zucchini noodles. Like that would be okay.
That would be great.
Okay. And then with the salad, you said like the rotisserie chicken with just a salad mix. How much salad mix? I mean, because I'm assuming there can be too much.
Yeah, we'll go through that in just a minute. That's a great
Okay,
question.
perfect.
Yes. Okay. All right. So what you'll want to do is let's go ahead and get out our guidebook. Did everybody read through this? It's pretty mandatory that you read through this before you start this program cover to cover. We can all take a few minutes tonight, if you haven't read, before you start, and read this cover to cover. This was my best friend, my first 30 days. And if you can tell that it's written in, there's even a diary back here that I filled out, like to track. Like this baby was my best friend, and still, it still is. Even 3 years later, I still go back to it and look at things. So this is your guide. Let's turn to page 17. All right. So if you can see in the meat category, it's broken down into 3 different categories: leanest, leaner, and lean. Do y'all see that? Can somebody give me a thumbs up if y'all see leanest?
Yes.
Okay, great. I think it looks something like that. Okay. All right. So your meat is going to be in 3 categories. And the reason why it's in 3 categories is because some meat has more fat in it than others. So depending on which type of protein or meat that you choose is going to determine what size protein it's going to be and how much extra fat you might need for the day. So if you choose from the leanest category, you're going to get 7 ounces of cooked protein. So say you decided to choose, say you went to Costco and you got the, I like mahi-mahi. Say you got the mahi-mahi. You're going to cook that, and then you're going to weigh out 7 ounces after it's cooked on your scale. And that's a lot of food, and you're going to love it. But you're also going to make sure that you add in 2 healthy fats. Your healthy fats are listed at the bottom of this page. And then your coach also has an extended list, or in the Opta Hub is an extended list. Did you guys have access to the extended condiment list and fat list? Okay. So you're going to find like your butters, your margarines, your, let's see, oils. They've got olives on here, avocado, those kind of things are your fats. This is going to be critical that you get your fats in. So make sure that if you do from the leanest, you're getting 2 healthy fats, and it can even be salad dressing. It could be one of your healthy fats as well. If you choose from the leaner category, and I think we probably eat out of this one the most, it's going to be 6 ounces. So your chicken breast. So once it's cooked, we're going to weigh it out. That's critical, because if you don't, you're not going to get enough food. And then you're going to say, oh, I don't have any energy. Or I'm not, getting the results that I just don't feel good. So you have to weigh this out. Then you're going to make sure you get an extra fat in too. So you can cook your chicken breast in olive oil. You could put some avocado, measure out the portion size on your chicken breast. And then if you choose from the lean category, like your pork chops, it's going to be 5 ounces cooked. And then you will not add any additional fat to that meal because your protein already has enough of that in there. Does everybody understand that? Okay, it took me a while to get that, and that's why I'm like, okay. So again, it's so important that you weigh your meat after it's cooked. So what I want to make sure that you all do, you're going to write this down, is you're going to take a snapshot of your meal your first week and send it over to your coach. Just once you get your plate all set up, just take a quick picture of it and send it her way or their way, just so that we can make sure that you're grasping this. If you've never weighed your food before, it's a little different, taking time to weigh and measure, but it's critical so that we start learning what a healthy plate should look like. Okay. All right. So let's talk about those vegetables. Kelsey was asking about those and those serving sizes. So if you go on down the list, you're going to get into the vegetable section, and we call that our greens. You get 3 servings of vegetables a day. Typically, is it? Okay. See, I see pork chop in the lean category.
Mhm.
Is that correct? Yeah. Okay. All right. So as we get into the vegetable section, a serving size is a 1/2 cup, except for your leafy greens, like your salads, your leafy spinaches, your romaines, endive, all of those different lettuces are going to be a cup. Have you guys ever tried to put lettuce into a measuring cup? You're not going to get an accurate reading. It's just impossible. It's like you're trying to stuff it in there and you don't know. So I want you to use the vegetable conversion guide. It will tell you what your lettuce would weigh if you put it on your plate, and the scale will tell you how much it should weigh. This guide tells you what it should weigh. Does that make sense? Okay. So weigh out those vegetables. Don't use the measuring cup, because what's going to happen, you're not going to eat enough. And then you're not going to be satisfied. Your body's not going to get all the nutrition that it needs, and it's not going to love you. So make sure that you are measuring everything out specifically. All right. I do want to note here, so listen up, because this always comes up. You do not want to eat peas, carrots, corn, edamame beans, Brussels sprouts, potatoes,
Mm.
and onions on the 5-in-1. There's something called the glycemic index. They're too high in sugar. They're going to throw your body out of fat burn if you choose to do that. They are healthy. Don't get me wrong. As a dietitian, they are healthy, but our goal is to get you into fat burn, because you're wanting to get these extra pounds off, right? We can add these foods back in once we transition. We're going to walk you through a 4-week transition period where you're going to get to have those Brussels sprouts again. Okay? They're not forever. Trust me. You can do this. You can season with onions. 1 tablespoon of minced onion is a condiment. So you can still have them to season your food. Just don't go eat a whole 1/2 cup of them. Okay? All right. Now let's move on to your condiment list. You get 3 condiments a day. So your guidebook does list some, but your coach has an extended list, which you can also find on the Opta Hub. Any questions about condiments? Don't get too hung up on salt and pepper or like your garlic. So like say you want to season with garlic or onion powder. I don't know if you've ever looked at a label, but there's nothing in that except just make sure it's more like your ketchups and your barbecue sauces and your honey mustards that can really have a ton of sugar in them, and eating those can throw you out of fat burn. And when you go out of fat burn, it's a slower weight loss and you don't feel as good. When you get into fat burn, you feel really good. Like you're going to start organizing your closet and stuff. It's insane how good you feel. You won't want to go back to the old way of eating just because you feel so dang good. That's what keeps me going into fat burn. I feel I'm a better person when I'm in fat burn. So, okay. You get an optional snack, and Optavia gives you that list of optional snacks. If you're hungry, use those. Use that. You don't have to have it to stay in fat burn, but it's there if you're hungry. And there are days I need my optional snack, and it's okay. All right. So my advice to you is, and especially if you're on social media and you're in lots of different groups, like recipe groups and things for Optavia, people are going to throw in a lot of stuff that you're not sure if you can eat or not. If it's not in the Optavia guide and it's not on your approved list, it is not on the Optavia 5-in-1. Okay. So if it's not in there, stay away from it. It's not going to help you reach your goals. Remember your why. Keep that in front of you.
Can I ask a quick question?
You go right ahead.
Sorry. Is the hub that you keep talking about different than the app that I downloaded?
Yes.
Okay. Is that just a website that you could just like, can you copy and paste the website into the chat so then I can open it and just bookmark it right on my laptop right now?
Does
If that's-
anybody know if that's correct, OptaHub?
You sent it to you.
And I'm sorry, Kelsey, I don't use it that much, but I know Emily's team does. I usually just send my guides out to my people, but the last kickoff call I did, Nell, can you share more about the OptaHub?
She just sent it to me. I got it. Thank you. Now.
Awesome. I
Thank
knew Nell and her group, they really use
Well,
the OptaHub.
she's my person, so I'm in
She's
a
your
group.
person. Yes. I'm kind of still old school, and so I still hand everything to my people. But there is the OptaHub. And Nell, will you put it in the chat for everybody? Did you already do that? It is a great resource for anything you're experiencing. If you can't get to your coach and you do have a question, you're going to find it in that OptaHub. I really do love it. Okay. So
Now, I have a question.
yes, go ahead. Who is
When we
that?
eat the celery, can we have
Stephanie.
peanut butter on it?
No peanut butter on the 5-in-1. Stephanie, who is your coach?
No.
Okay, no. You could do Nell, you may want to talk to her a little bit about the what is it, Laughing Cow cheese. The light Laughing Cow cheese wedges, one wedge is a condiment.
You're making a fat girl go hungry.
The choices that we made before are why we are where we are today. It's okay. Doesn't mean that peanut butter is never going to be a part of your life. But Stephanie, I see you, and I know what peanut butter does to me. I can't have it in my house, even to this day.
I can smell it.
I could put my head in that jar some days if it was in here. It doesn't serve me. There's tons of calories in it that don't serve us. But you'll be able to have it again one day when you're able to have it and eat it like a healthy person would eat it.
Yeah.
Okay. We do have some other, we have the powdered peanut butter that some people use as a condiment. Sometimes I'll put that in my chocolate shake and it tastes like a Reese peanut butter shake. So there's going to be lots of options for you, and we'll help you with that. Peanut butter was tough for me. I get you and I see you. All right. So any questions so far about anything I've already talked about? I hope you guys feel a little bit better about moving in. 1 tablespoon, yes, is a condiment. I think it's a condiment or a snack.
Is there such thing as too much water?
Of course, there's always going to be too much water.
Well, I was
Um,
reading something on the Goal Crushers, that Facebook page, and someone was saying they kind of had seen a plateau. And then someone mentioned in the comment section, it was probably because their water intake was too much. So they started adding in some like electrolytes and some magnesium into their water. So I'm just wondering, how many ounces does it get to where you need to start considering adding in the magnesium and the electrolytes?
Well, I will tell you, because you're in fact going into fat burn as a dietitian, when the body is metabolizing fat for energy, it automatically excretes extra electrolytes. That doesn't happen when you're using glucose. You need to be adding in electrolytes, guys, every day.
Is that something, if we are continuing to do like working out, that we need to add a little bit more because of the amount that we're going to be sweating?
I would say so. I don't
Okay.
know specifically what your exercise looks like, Kelsey, but is exercise new or something that you've all already been doing?
It's Orange Theory. It's something we've been doing for years. So they're high intensity. I just don't want to,
Yeah.
I've never added in an electrolyte or a magnesium before.
We do have a high fitness fat burn group that may be better for you, Kelsey. I don't recommend high intensity for my clients that are trying to lose weight. So maybe something that Emily and Nell can talk to you more about, because I know that Emily is a runner, so she may be more experienced in what you need to add to your day. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Because if you read the Dr. Anderson's Habits of Health book, and you all need to be reading that, he does talk about that we don't usually start exercising until about 3 weeks into program. Now, that's typically for people that have never exercised before. You know, those people like me that used to say, okay, January 1, I'm going to run a marathon and I'm going to eat, 1,000 calories a day. I was wanting to exercise for weight loss. You don't have to exercise that intense for weight loss on our program. So get with your coach on maybe some, what is specifically you all need to be consuming especially doing Orange Theory.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, a lot of people have success, but I don't know a lot about exercise. Like I'll walk the treadmill and do some arm weights, so it's nothing like what you guys do at Orange Theory. All right. Any other questions? But definitely make sure you're getting electrolytes. I love Ultima powder. It's my favorite. As a dietitian, I do have a code that I do share with clients. If you guys want that, I'll be glad to share it with your coach. But Ultima powder is my favorite.
Right, you got the actual charger.
All right. So what I want you all to do is tonight, have y'all taken your measurements yet? Okay, you're going to make sure you take your measurements. So you're going to want one of those soft measuring tapes, and you write down the acronym WATCH, WATCH. You're going to take your waist. You're going to take your arm, A. So do both arms. You're going to do your thighs for T, your chest for C, and H is hips. So take those measurements, because we are a fat loss program. What that means is we preserve muscle mass, but the fat melts off, and you're going to lose those inches. And sometimes those that scale may not show inches, but it shows inches. Your inches will come off first before the scale. So because we preserve muscle mass, whereas lots of different programs don't preserve the muscle mass like we do. Okay. All right. Now, then I want you to take your before pictures. Those are so exciting. And then you're going to share them with all of us. Like, go get it. Go take your picture, and we want to see them. No, I'm just teasing. Sorry, guys. I'm on cold medicine. All right. No, you're going to You're going to keep those for yourself, but take them in something that maybe you wouldn't in a month. If you're down 12 pounds, you're going to say, look at me. Like, so take them in some shorts and a t-shirt, something that you'd be okay to show a friend, but you don't have to send them to your coach. I mean, you can, but I keep mine in my life book. I actually printed them out and I keep them in my book so that when times are tough and I want to put my head in the peanut butter, I'll go back and look at my picture and like, no, we're not going back there. That's not who I want to be. I want to be the healthy person, not the unhealthy person. And then I want you to write a letter to yourself as if you've been on plan for 6 months, and talk to yourself and tell yourself how dang proud you are. You're going to be down 50 pounds. Imagine where you're going to be in 6 months. Typical weight loss, if you stay on this program 100%, is 8 to 12 pounds per month. So imagine where you're going to be in 6 months. I want you to write a letter to yourself and just tell yourself how dang proud you are of yourself, because we got to love ourselves through this. This is about loving ourselves and identifying as healthy people. How would a healthy person do this? How does a healthy person act? What does a healthy person eat? You guys know what to do. It's all up here. It is. Get in that life book. Make sure you're reading your life book at least 5 minutes a day, because there's literally gold on those. That's the whole reason I coach this program, is because of the life book. Anybody can lose weight on a diet. This is not a diet. This is a lifelong transformation, one healthy habit at a time. We're here for you every step of the way. Okay. All right. Any questions? Okay. Well, if no questions, then your coach will be contacting you in the morning. Let me just kind of give you a heads up of what your next week's going to look like. Your first 4 days, your coach is going to connect with you via phone call or text, just whichever is best. I prefer phone call, so we can really hear your voice, because sometimes you can tell us that you're okay and you're really not on a text. And then your coach and then their coaches, they're going to celebrate you on day 8, because you deserve to be celebrated, because in a week, your whole life is going to change in a week and you're going to feel so good. And we can't wait to celebrate you guys. Okay. All right. Y'all have a good night. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Welcome. We're glad you guys are with us.